Welcome in to Cronkite Sports Live. I'm Ethan Ryter alongside Spencer Cheehawk. Spencer, you're making your CSL anchor debut today, and it's March. What is your favorite thing about March?
10.9 seconds left on senior night in senior Remy Martin's hands. He gets a screen, he goes around it, sidesteps, shoots a three, and he does what he's done all of his Sun Devil career.
Down here on the field with star Eamon Allen. Coach just came over to you and Max Davis, said seniors play big in big games. How did it feel to play like you did today?
Amazing, it feels good. Like when we get pressured on, we got to step up and make big plays.
It's not always easy to rebound when something doesn't work out the way you planned, but it does make it that much sweeter when you step up and get the job done. That's exactly what the second and third units have managed to do for ASU hockey. WCSN hockey reporter Michael Gutnick has the details.
Down here with Eamon Allen, senior, making big plays. We can just swap right over to Max Davis. Come on in. Senior running back, star man on offense, getting yards after yards, continues to talk about his offensive line. Tell me a little bit about your performance. What did you see out there? What allowed you to do what you did today?
What allowed us to do what we did today was just hard work this week.
Sun Devil Soccer had a disappointing season last year, to say the least. This season, though, Coach Winkworth has the squad cooking. They took on number 10 USC at Sun Devil Stadium, and our own Sam Stern was there to recap the action.
I don't know if Texas Roadhouse is watching, but if you are, rolls, meat, name it, the Max Davis, get yourself a meal there. Everyone's going to be going to get it. But Max Davis, you guys are in the playoffs. You yourself, a big part of this team. You were able to run down the clock into the game. How does it feel? Just like Eamon Allen, two big players, two big seniors. Now you're in the playoffs. How does it feel to know you made it to that point?
Feels great, but we're just getting started,
Imagine someone just took a shot. They miss, and I grab a rebound. A player does this normally about 0 to 10 times a game. Tonight, though, Kamani Lawrence did it 20 times. Add on to that 21 points, and Bobby Hurley was pleased, to say the least.
That's right, Jack. This next 4 weeks is a stretch with huge implications on the Sun Devil hockey season. And with our time running out, that 4-week stretch starts right now as we send you out to Oceanside Ice Arena for puck drop with the Arizona State Sun Devils facing off against the Robert Morris Colonials here on Pac-12+.
Sun Devil football, and specifically Jaden Daniels, have a plethora of receivers to throw to this year. It's a very young but high-ceiling group, still looking for their top guys. Let's take a look at who Jaden will be slinging the ball to come September. We'll start with the man that has seniority of the group, redshirt sophomore Jordan Porter. Last year, he made his mark leading the team in receiving yards with 120. At 6'2" with good speed, he looks to be a good deep option for the Devils. Next, there's second-year LV Bunkley Shelton. The shifty receiver showed out last season and led the team in receptions with 11. He's a prime candidate to become a marquee guy in the offense. Second-year Johnny Wilson came into ASU with LV. Last year, he showed flashes, but struggled a little to find his footing like some expected. However, his 6'7" frame and athleticism should cause problems for defenses all season long. Then there's third-year Andre Johnson. The 6'2" Arizona native is someone coaches are excited about, as he looks to carve out a large role in the offense. The second oldest man in the group is hometown hero Ricky Pearsall. He once again showed off his big play ability, averaging 14.3 yards per catch last season. You'll probably find him a little bit in the run game as well. Then you have the guys who haven't had a catch in a Sun Devil jersey up to this point. After being deemed academically ineligible last year and experimented on defense, second-year Elijah Badger has impressed as a receiver in spring ball. As a consensus top 150 prospect coming in, he'll look to surprise in his first action as a Sun Devil. Next up is Colt hero Chad Johnson Jr. If you've followed the Sun Devils at all, you've probably heard of his name. He's been a fan favorite so far due to his hard work on the recruiting front. However, according to wide receiver coach Prentice Gill, he's the most improved receiver in the whole group. And we finish off with the shiny new toy, Lanyata Alexander. He goes by Junior, but there isn't anything junior about how he plays. The 6'2" consensus 4-star prospect knows how to get open. As a freshman, he'll have a lot of competition, but don't be surprised if he finds the field. All in all, this is an unknown but heavily talented group for Jaden Daniels and offensive coordinator Zach Hill to use. Even with ASU's strong running game, this wide receiver group is bound to reach the end zone and make some noise. Ethan Ryter, Cronkite Sports.
I just think talking about VAR in general, it's broken. And it's not because of VAR. It's not because of the refs. It's because of the rules. It's the same thing about the handballs. The offsides rule right now is wrong. It's messing up the game. I think it's okay to a point, but by definition, VAR corrects clear and obvious errors by the ref. And a minuscule offsides, like by definition, a minuscule offsides that is literally decided by molecules literally cannot be considered clear and obvious because it's not clear and obvious.
For University of Cumberland's freshman running back, Martise Smith, there's never been a time where the game of football hasn't been present.
Football it's always been a part of my life, and sometimes it was the only part of my life.
At 5'9", 182 pounds, Smith always had his doubters.
My freshman year coach, Scott Jackson, he told me that I'll never be able to play football here because I was too scrawny coming out of middle school into high school. You're too small. You're never going to do it.
Those doubters only made him better.
So that summer, I blocked out all the noise and I went into the weight room and I worked my butt off.
Smith got his chance. First, struggling during an early season game.
I fumbled, and then it's halftime. And I go in at halftime all dejected, and coach is like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I fumbled, coach. Like, I know you don't like that, and I'm sorry, but I can't forgive myself, and I'm kind of destroying myself and tearing myself down because of it." And he was like, "Well, guess what? You're the guy, and that's not going to change. You're still going to be the guy when we go back out of this locker room. Now, I've seen you play ball, and I want you to be the player that I know you can be. Show them the Martise that I know."
With that trust from high school coach Cody Corey, he ended that game with 163 yards and 2 touchdowns. His high school play garnered multiple D1 offers. However, finances proved too big a hurdle. Fortunately, the University of Cumberland's offensive coordinator was at his county all-star game. Smith made a good impression.
A week later, he came into my coach's office and was like, "Hey, son, we'd like to offer you a full ride scholarship." And I committed without second thought.
At Cumberland's, there were 300 freshman recruits, of which he was number 38 out of 40 running backs. An injury forced him out of training camp.
I called my mom crying, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to play. I don't even know if I want to be here."
In a mere 5 minutes of a freshman scrimmage, Smith made himself known, becoming the only freshman to make the travel team. In their first game, Smith unexpectedly was called on in overtime, scoring the winning touchdown.
It was definitely a moment of shock. I didn't know what to do. I stood there in the end zone like, did I really just, out of 40 running backs, out of like 20 who left, and out of the starter and everything, I still was able to win the game.
Smith took his chance and ran with it, cementing his place as the team's go-to running back, winning NAIA Freshman of the Year. If it's up to him, this isn't the last time you'll hear his name.
My number one super true goal is to make it into the NFL. That is my one dream that I want more than anything.
If you do hear the name Martise Smith, make sure you know what he wants you to think.
That's that guy who worked for everything he got.
Now let's get to the important part. One, they are both playoff teams. He's not even corrected that. Kendrick Nunn, yes, you are on a playoff team. You are on the Heat. Ja Morant has single-handedly carried the Grizzlies teams to a playoff spot. They were nothing before Ja Morant came. That's why he is the most important. Look at the teams. The best Grizzly player that Ja Morant has to play with is Jaren Jackson Jr., who is completely unproven. I mean, he's a very good player, but he's completely unproven. Brandon Clark has been one of their best players this year. Brandon Clark is a rookie. I mean, come on. Valanciunas, Justice Winslow. These aren't amazing players that we're looking at. And then you go over to the Heat. You got Jimmy Butler, who's one of the stars in the NBA right now. You have Bam Adebayo, who was an all-star. You have Duncan Robinson, who was in the three-point contest. Goran Dragic, who, yes, Kendrick Nunn has taken over, but he's still a very talented player off the bench. Jay Crowder, Andre Iguodala. The Heat are a way better team. That is just completely unfair to say that he should be Rookie of the Year because of wins. They are yes, you're a playoff team, but so is Ja Morant with a definitely less of a talented roster. That's insane that Kendrick Nunn should say that he should be Rookie of the Year. No one ever questioned if Kevin Durant and James Harden could fit on a team together. They were in a team on Oklahoma City Thunder. James Harden has already come out right now, said they were boys.
in Oklahoma City. They are now men. Them playing together, of course it's going to work. It's two of the best one-on-one scorers in NBA basketball. It's two of the best one-on-one scorers maybe in the history of the game. Kevin Durant might be the best scorer in the history of the NBA set period. I don't know if that's true, but that's definitely a possibility. In the first 2 games, Kevin Durant with 36 points per game on 23.5 field goals. Harden just dang near averaging a triple-double with 33, 9, and 13 with 21.5 field goals per game. Kevin Durant shooting at a 55, 58, 93 clip. Absolutely absurd stuff from the 2 stars.
I think there's a big matchup as well down low with Carson Ledbetter and Carter Karab. Carter Karab got his first NAIA offer January 16th from Warner Pacific University, my bad. Him and Carson Ledbetter, when it gets to these late stages, defensive rebounds are huge, and we'll see who ends up getting more. Here is that battle. Carson Ledbetter goes inside and hits. Carson Ledbetter just backs him down and makes that layup. Great little play from Carson Ledbetter, and it's now 36-34 lead. Scott on the other end, crossover, in and out. Great crossover from Scott. It's going to stay with Gilbert on the offensive end. It's a great crossover there. Shook his defender, rises up with confidence, and it's in and out.
Here's where it's time to check the emotions, keep the energy high, but don't get too emotional here in the 4th quarter.
Now Karab down low. Big man layup. I said it, both of them have got to do some things on the defensive end in terms of rebounding, but offensively, both big men getting a bucket here at the beginning of the 4th. As Newcomb comes the other way for the Colts. Scott, once again, step for step, stride for stride. Effort on the defensive end. Still effort as a switch. Passed out to Coleman. Nate Coe getting some minutes here in the 4th. Here he is. Tampa Scott called for the foul as he was trying to fight over the screen. And you'd love to see it. Of course, he gets called for a foul there, but the effort from Scott right now, you see why he is a captain of this team.
Yeah, Scott is really bringing the energy. He's bringing up his teammates, and you love to see the aggression there.
Side out for Colts with 7:07 remaining here in the 4th. It's a tie ball game at 36. And Scott's there again, stride for stride with Newcomb. Here is Coe on the right-hand side. Step back jumper, and it's a little bit long. Here's Elijah Johnson to take it up for Gilbert. Karab outside to Perry. He goes inside on Coe. Tries to lay it up. Carson Ledbetter was there to meet him. Newcomb down the other way, all the way. Good pass. And they call a offensive foul?
Traveling violation.
Traveling violation. I thought he might have passed it before that happened, but they end up calling that traveling violation. Once again, very aggressive play that might have cost him just being a little too aggressive in that instance.
Pushing the
Scott
tempo.
comes the other way. Talk about being aggressive. Scott has been so far in the second half. Penelude outside to him for the 3. And it's off short. Great rebound, up and in. Carson home. One of the big guys for Gilbert in terms of their team, and that is some great offensive work.
Stepping in and filling some shoes for Reed Shuey, number 32, and he's done a pretty decent job tonight when given the opportunity.
And here is Coe. Inside to Coleman. He kicks it outside to Newcomb. He's still on the left wing. Inside, he thinks he got fouled, Carson Ledbetter, but Penelude ends up with the ball. Here in transition, kicks it out to Johnson on the right wing. Inside to Karab for the pull-up jumper. It's good. You can see why Karab is getting offers. That's a sweet jumper from mid-range for the big man.
The
and it's now a
mid-range.
40-36 lead for Gilbert. But there's a foul on Gilbert as Castillo are coming up the other way, and it looks like Dre Sherwood is going to come back into the game. Windler couldn't wait any longer to put in the 3-point magician. As it's a 4-point lead for Gilbert, 5:42 remaining here in the 4th.
Yeah, this game's coming down to the wire. 5:42 remaining. Castillo, we saw them push the tempo a couple times, haven't been able to convert as of late. They're going to have to continue to try to get out in transition to make this a game.
Look at Tampa Scott down in the squat position. Inside, great pass to Ledbetter. Sherwood outside. Graco. Here is Coleman. He tries to dribble in, and Johnson tips it away. Coleman gets the ball from Penelude, drives inside, and they call the foul. Sounds like it might have been on Elijah Johnson.
So Castillo retains possession. down by 4, 5:22 remaining.
It's going to be out on the baseline, Sherwood, and it's a 5-second violation.
Great defense from Gilbert there, forcing the 5-second violation. They closed all the lanes. No one was able to cut, and they were not able to get the ball in bounds in time.
And now they caught the other way with a 4-point lead. 5:19 remaining in the fourth. Scott takes the ball up, the main ball handler for Gilbert. He kicks it out in the left wing to Johnson. Perry on the other side, and great steal, and they call a foul.
Looks like he grabbed the wrist there, and it was just slight enough.
It's right in front of us here, and it was a questionable one.
It's a tough call.
Tough call for sure. Greco doesn't agree with it. Penelude does. He did seem to feel like he got grabbed. Or maybe he didn't think it was a foul on him. He would have been shocked in that presence. Karab now kicks out to Perry for 3. Great defense from Newcomb, who says he got a block. Shows the tip finger right in front of our table here.
Mark that
Great
down.
effort. Unbelievable effort from Newcomb, as we've been seeing from him all night. Mosley from 3, off on the left iron, and Perry's there to get the rebound. Still a 4-point lead for Gilbert. A little bit of a scoring slump for both teams. Tampa Scott drives in on Sherwood. Good defense. Johnson now drives in on Newcomb. Good pass to Perry on the left wing. He drives in. Great layup from Perry. And it's a 6-point lead for Gilbert. Hangs in the air there for a couple seconds, and a timeout and another roar from the Gilbert section as they have a 6-point lead with 4:24 remaining in the fourth. We'll take a break here. We're at Frank Fletcher Gymnasium, and we are taking you for Gilbert versus Castile boys basketball. We'll be right back. I'm Ethan Ryter alongside Jordan Spurgeon.
Hey, I'm Ethan Ryter, the founder and creator of the Soccer Channel, a 24/7 TV channel purely dedicated to the beautiful game of soccer. The love for soccer throughout the world is inarguable. As someone who fell in love with playing and watching soccer at a young age, I've grown to question the lack of soccer coverage on American television. While almost every other major sport has its own channel, soccer does not. That's where the Soccer Channel comes in, showing all soccer all the time. This website will act as a beta for this channel until the official release in early 2021. You as a viewer right now are in a very unique position. As a startup channel looking to be on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, there's a large need for content. Right now, we are accepting any and all content in these early stages. Your content will be shown on this site on a 24/7 beta channel. If your content makes the cut, you could even find yourself on the channel during the official release in 2021. So send in any and all content to thesoccerchannel.tv@gmail.com and get ready to either watch or be a part of all soccer all the time.
Down here with senior Max Davis. He had yet another monster day. And if you learned anything from today, make sure you go to Texas Roadhouse before your football games, because they will get you right and you'll be playing like Max Davis in no time. Right back up to you guys.